Well, the sidewalks are still pretty icy outside, and this time of year is a common time for slip and fall accidents. And these are falls that can lead to many different types of injuries. So today we're talking about the most serious kind of fall. Here to talk about the legal issues surrounding brain injuries, Andy Crouppen of Brown & Crouppen. Should I call you Dr. Crouppen at this moment?
Sure, sure.
Good to see you again. When one falls, the last thing you're thinking about is a brain injury. But they're very serious, obviously.
They can be very serious. Obviously, we hit our heads all the time. Well, not that often. I hit my head all the time. Matt's
arm is up. He said, I'm hitting my head, banging my head, as a matter of fact.
You know, you take little bumps here and there, but you got to know the difference between when it's just, you know, you knock into a wall or something, and when you really need to seek medical attention. I think the best way to think about it is, when in doubt, call a doctor.
Right.
Because we saw about a year and a half ago now, when Liam Neeson's wife had what appeared to be at first just a minor bump on the head and a skiing injury. She passed away not long after, and I think everyone was shocked because it was a minor fall. So I think
seems like they ignored maybe some symptoms or were on their way to get treatment. So symptoms are important to keep in mind.
Very important. I mean, there are symptoms like loss of consciousness, which no one would avoid medical treatment if you hit your head and you're losing consciousness. But, you know, if you have numbness throughout your body, if you get a headache, have some irritability, you know, sometimes you'll have a little nausea, a little blurred vision. I mean, these are things that you don't want to ignore. And I know sometimes we trick ourselves almost into having symptoms after you have some sort of injury and you're not sure if, is my vision a little blurred? You know what I mean?
But if you've thrown up, I mean, I mean, come on.
If there's vomit on your floor, it's probably real. No, I mean, if there's any question in your mind that you're having any of these symptoms, call a doctor immediately. If you're doing things like vomiting, if the symptoms are serious, just go straight to the emergency room.
And there are two types of brain injuries that we want to keep in mind, and one is a traumatic brain injury and what's called the acquired brain injury.
And really the effects can be largely similar. The main difference is a traumatic brain injury is from some sort of force or trauma that causes physical injury to the brain. An acquired brain injury can be caused like by you know, near drowning or, you know, the rare event of a lightning strike or a stroke. And what happens is those effects are caused by injuries that happen more on a cellular level than by just kind of blunt force trauma.
Dr. Crouppen.
You know it.
I was surprised to read that, we're talking about falls, that 35% of brain injuries are caused by a fall. That's a high number. Fewer by vehicle accidents.
That's true. Well, you know, on a day like today, if you think about it, you know, you're more likely to fall down and hit your head than to really, you're not driving that fast out there today. So if you do have an accident, and the way cars are today, they're so much safer, you're much more likely to fall down and hit your head. And be careful out there because it is slick. I couldn't even drive my own car today. I had to have my girlfriend drive me to work.
You just wanted to say that.
I did.
Is it because of the kind of car you have?
I have a rear-wheel drive car.
Oh, there it is. You don't have front-wheel drive.
No, she didn't drive. I took her car, though. Left her stranded at home.
You should have just left it there.
She offered. She offered. I didn't want her to go out of the house. I wanted her to be very safe.
Very nice.
I cared so much about her.
Points today for you, Dr. Crouppen.
Yes, yes.
And with head injuries in mind, obviously, I mean, when we were all growing up, nobody wore helmets, but we want our kids to wear helmets today when they're riding their bikes, when they're skateboarding. They're not doing it today. But
you know, we've taken a full 180-degree turn on the helmet thing, because you're right. You never saw a helmet. You couldn't buy a helmet at Target. But now, for every activity where you could possibly fall and hit your head, rollerblading, skiing, skateboarding, biking, wear a helmet. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. I think people think they look funny or dorky.
We're also used to it now. They do look dorky, but we're used to it. Hey, before we let you go, two things. The business is responsible for keeping its sidewalk clear. The homeowner as well?
Well, I think it's always a good idea. The laws aren't completely clear with that. I think the best advice is clear it well, put salt down onto the ice, and just for pedestrians, be really careful, because today out there, it looks like everything is clear. It looks like flat pavement or wood.
But it's called black ice for a reason.
And it is slippery.
All right. Nellie, if you're watching, this man would like to hang out with you.
Yeah, and we can appear on this show next week, so call me.
Yes, Nellie's having his big black and white ball coming up, and some people are looking for tickets to get there. You're popular enough, I would say.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
You want an attorney in the house of every party.
I might put on my Carol Daniels costume from last Halloween and just use your name.
What did that costume include? I'm curious. Let's not go there. We'll leave that. If you have a legal question for Brown and Crouppen, great timing. Email us at greatday@kmov.com. A Carol Daniels Halloween.